All right, welcome in on this Friday edition of the Pony Pundits. We have yet another race to the Kentucky Derby here, and it is the signature prep race for the 2021 Kentucky Derby. And who better to help you navigate through the Tampa Bay Derby than these two gentlemen? Look at who we got here. It is Marco D'Angelo and Sig back in action here. I got to tell you, I almost took a day off here from listening to you guys the last couple of shows that we've done. You're making it rain here, Marco. That's all I'm going to say. There's nothing but cash flying out of this show. Fantastic job the last time that we spoke here, just a little over a week ago. And here we go again. Another race. Tampa Bay Downs is where we'll be heading, and looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah, it's a good card on Saturday at Tampa Bay. It's their signature day with the Tampa Bay Derby, and we're just 2 months away from that first Saturday in May, Joe. Looking forward to it, and the horses are accumulating their points, and we're starting to see the top 20 point leaders taking shape, and they want to get their spot in that starting gate for that first Saturday of May.
Yeah, it's going to be it's a hell of a racing day weekend, Sig, in not only Tampa but around the country. So it's an exciting time of year when it comes to horse racing right about now.
Very true, Joe. We actually had our choice of Derby preps this weekend. We had Derby preps at Aqueduct with the Gotham and also the San Felipe at Santa Anita this weekend to choose from. Of course, I went with the biggest field, and I thought it was going to be the best weather, but we are looking at a chance of showers tomorrow morning in the Tampa area. Hopefully, we still have a good, nice dry track by the time we get to race 11 tomorrow.
All right, well, we're going to do like we normally do here, guys. We're going to simply go down the entries here of this race at Tampa Bay Downs for tomorrow. But before we do that, we got a 12-horse field. Before we do that, we have a couple of very exciting promotions that we want to talk to you about. We'll start with Marco because, Marco, it is all about, my friend, a 7-day all-access pass with for the price of $3. It does not get any better than this, guys. Using that code TAMPA69, that'll go ahead and get you access to all of Marco's selections here for 7 days for the price of just the 3-day all-access pass, $69. So 7-day subscription, all access for the price of $3. Use that code TAMPA69. And Sig, we want all your selections, and we want them from now through the Kentucky Derby. And we can do that, my friend, simply by heading to your page at WagerTalk.com right now. $169 will get you, is that correct, Sig? All your selections now through Belmont. There's a lot of races in between now and then.
Yeah, that's now through the Belmont Stakes. So that's going to be the remainder of the Gulfstream meet here through the end of the month, the Florida Derby. We'll switch over to Keeneland and handle the Bluegrass and some other Kentucky Derby preps in April before going to Churchill and the Kentucky Derby. That first Saturday in May, we'll have the Preakness for you guys in May, and then the beginning of the Belmont Spring Meet and the Belmont Stakes. So that's 15 weeks of selections for a little bit more than $12 a week. Right now, my daily sheet sells for $9, so it's a hell of a bargain.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, both deals, fantastic. Tampa 69, get Marco. And guys, trust me right now, with the NBA getting ready for the All-Star break, second half just beginning next week, but conference tournaments, college basketball, Marco has been crushing it. So now would be the time to hop on, use that 7-day all-access code TAMPA69 at checkout. And guys, let's dive in to the big race here tomorrow, Tampa Bay Derby. We're going to start with Marco, I believe, who gets, I don't know how he keeps drawing these things. I really don't there, but he continues to get it. So we're going to go ahead. Number one, My Liberty here, Marco. Talk to me. Give me your thoughts about this horse.
Well, Joe, you've been giving me a lot of crap the last couple weeks that, we draw even and odd. There's no mystery in it. Next week, I'll be the even number horses. But you say I get all the good horses. Well, I sure didn't get it with My Liberty, okay? This horse is 30-1, should be a lot higher. It's had 4 lifetime starts. 2 good ones, 2 bad ones. This has been an in-and-out horse. He's followed up every bad performance with a good one, but then unfortunately comes back with a bad one. and he finally broke his maiden. Now he's going to face winners in stakes company. He doesn't have the speed figures, and we were joking about the jockey on this one. One of the guys at WagerTalk, Tony Mejia, I don't know if he's related or not. Hopefully he's not riding, because that would give this horse even worse of an opportunity to win. But My Liberty, no. Give me Liberty or give me death. I'm not using My Liberty.
Serves him right, getting that 30-1 morning line shot right off the bat. Let's go to the number 2 entry in this race. Super Strong, Sig, coming to you. Antonio Gallardo was 8-1 morning line shot here. Your thoughts on Super Strong heading into this race?
Actually, really interesting horse to me, Joe. Super Strong was bred in Kentucky, but he made his racing debut in Puerto Rico at Camarero racetrack back in December. He won a Grade 1 stake there, 2 break his maiden, which you'll never see here in the U.S. Okay, not never, but rarely see here in the U.S. They didn't just thought enough of this horse to go ahead and transfer him up to Florida, Safi Joseph, and he's going to give him a shot here in the Tampa Bay Derby tomorrow. He's going to be facing a much tougher class of horses than he saw down in Puerto Rico, and he's making his first start for the new barn after a 2-month playoff. So a lot of things aren't going in his direction. He's also not going to be racing with Lasix, which he had in that debut race. If he exhibits that closing kick that he showed in his debut race, he could definitely make up part of the lower end of the exotic tickets. I would use him on the bottom of your tries, maybe the last 2 spots on your superfectas if you're playing those type of wagers. But Super Strong, I think he's going to need at least a race here in the U.S. before we see what he's truly got.
Okay, all right, I'm moving number off to number 3 in this race, and oh, look at that, shocking, odd number. Candyman Rocket, Marco, let's talk about Candyman Rocket if we can, because it looks awfully familiar, like, I don't know, the Sam, oh, that's right, the Sam Davis, that we talked about him, didn't we? So give me your thoughts on what is most likely going to be the favorite when it goes off tomorrow.
Yeah, he went off 3-1 in the Sam Davis in. He was, I think, 9 or 10-1 in the morning line in that race, and they bet him, and they were right. And this is a horse that I used on the ticket. My co-host had this horse on top. I know he'll be sure to say it. I know he was, upset that I drew the odd number horses, and he couldn't brag about that winner. So I'll brag about it for him. But Candyman Rocket, if you watch that race, he did get leggy late in the race, but he had every reason to. It was the first time he had gone that distance. He went fast fractions. He got into a speed duel with another horse that was in this race today as well, Boca Boy. He put Boca Boy away. Actually, Boca Boy was looking for his mom coming down the stretch. He didn't know where to go. He was out of gas, but they did go fast fractions. I think they'll go a little bit more reasonable this time. And second time at the distance, he should have more stamina. I like him. No reason not to like him. And he did get caught 4 wide in that first turn. So he lost a lot of ground to the horses in that race, and he still drew off and won comfortably. He is the horse to beat, but I'm not going to say he's a stone cold lock in this race, but he will be the favorite.
All right, let's go. Number 4 in this race, coming back to you, Sig. King of Dreams, I believe, shipping up from Gulfstream Park here in South Florida. And Sammy Camacho hopping on board here. And at 20-1 morning line, Sammy Camacho, very well known, obviously, at Tampa Bay Downs. Your thoughts with King of Dreams?
Yeah, Joe, Sammy Camacho is the top jock right now in wins and money earned in this current Tampa Bay Downs meet. But this Air Force Blue Colt debuted at Aqueduct back in December, going 7 furlongs in his debut on the slot. Basically, he ran okay early on and then just tired out, which you can expect these horses, especially in their debut. Most of the times, you guys can draw a line through it. They ship him down to Gulfstream and put him in a turf affair where he basically wires the field. Now they're bringing him back on the dirt again at Tampa, basically a month and a half later. It's going to be interesting. With like Camacho up there, he's definitely got a shot at Tampa. But like I discussed with Super Strong earlier, this is one I would consider maybe at the bottom of my deeper tickets. Like I said, that third trifecta position at the end of your superfectas. He might pick up a piece. I don't think he's a win contender in this field.
Owned by former Major League Baseball player, I believe Victor Martinez, comes from Victoria's Ranch with the number 4, King of Dreams. And Marco, that means it's an odd number. I'm coming to you. And you coming to Boca? Boca Boy, talk to me here, Marco. What do you think of Boca Boy going off at 15-1 morning line in this race?
Yeah, this is the horse that I was talking about in the last preview. He went toe-to-toe with the 3, Candyman's Rocket, and he just didn't have it in a stretch. They went too fast to the half, in my opinion. I think they'll rate this horse a little bit better. They don't want to get into the speed duel. But what does concern me a little bit is the jockey jumps to the 2 horse in this race. Now, does go back to Angel Aurora, which had ridden this horse his first 3 starts, but then in the last 2 had gotten some big-name jockeys. But now you lose one of those big-name jockeys, jumping ship, Gallardo going to the 2. So I have reservations about this horse on top, but I can't throw him off the ticket. If they do go reasonable fractions, and when you get to that second timer poll, if it's not 46-3 and it's more like 47 and change or 48, this horse will be hanging around at the end of the race. So if they control him, get him to settle down, he will be on the ticket, but I don't have him as a win horse in here. I have him basically underneath in the 3rd and 4th slot.
All right, good stuff. Heading down number 6. Awesome Jerry here, Sig. Hector Diaz Jr. Getting the ride. Not a great first attempt at getting those Kentucky Derby points back in the end of January there at the Holy Bull. Beaten by 17 lengths in that one. What do you anticipate we're going to see this time around?
Yeah, interesting, Joe. After that poor performance in the Holy Bull, they're taking the blinkers off here in the ship up to Tampa for the Tampa Bay Derby here. I mean, he won his first couple races here, and then they put him right in the stakes company. If you look, he's been racing in stakes ever since his first 2 wins. And he's been competitive in all but that last race. I think with the blinkers coming off, it's not going to be enough to get this horse into the mix. He hasn't shown the speed necessary to compete against this field. If he breaks well, he might be part of the early pace scenario in here, but I don't believe he'll be able to sustain that pace. He's a toss for me.
All right, toss him. That's where he's going. All right, that means we're going to number 7, I believe, here, Marco, and that's going to be Moonlight Strike, another South Florida-based horse on its way to Tampa Bay. Not an impressive 4th-place effort. I believe that was back on January 22nd at Oaklawn at the Smarty Jones Stakes. So what do you think we're going to get from number 7, Moonlight Strike, tomorrow?
Yeah, what concerns me about this horse is that if you look at the speed figures, they're going the wrong direction. 3 straight races now, he's had a decline in his speed figure. That's not what you want to see when you're on the road to the Kentucky Derby. You want to see them ascending, not descending. That last race, he got beat by 18 lengths. It was a minor stake race. It was a $150,000 purse, but it wasn't a graded stake. Now he's facing, top horses. I just don't like this horse. He does pick up the 3rd leading driver, the jockey at Tampa. So that is a plus, and it's coming out of a barn that has been hot. You look at Safi Joseph, last 30 days, blindly betting him. His horses have been in the money 50% of the time. So this is a horse that if they turn him around, can run on the ticket, but I think there are better choices in this race. Plus the fact I think he runs his best near the lead, and I just don't think he wants to go with the 3 horse on the front end in this race. Candyman Rocket, too much horse if he tries to go with him early. I didn't use the 7.
All right, there brings us up to Hidden Stash, number 8, a very interesting horse here, Sig, as we watched come from the clouds, really, in the Sam F. Davis behind Candyman Rocket and Nova Rags. Also, interesting jockey change from that race here now. Somebody very familiar with this horse. What do you think about Hidden Stash, 4-1 morning line?
Oh, Joe, Hidden Stash made my top selections in here. He actually is my second selection, but he's going to be your value if you're looking to win bet here. I don't think Candyman Rocket is going to show you any value at the windows. He's going to be bet coming off that Sam F. Davis performance, and I think Hidden Stash showed a lot coming down the stretch there. Bejarano comes back. He's shipping down from Turfway Park to ride him. He did ride him on his 2 wins, like you said. So, I mean, that's a positive here. And I think coming in second, that Sam F. Davis was the first start off a layoff. This will be second start off the layoff. He's going to be your second choice on the betting board, in my opinion. But if you're winning betting here, value bet him. I think if Candyman Rocket gets beat, Hidden Stash is your best bet to beat him.
All right, that brings us to number 9 here. It was just a matter of time before we talked about this name, Todd Fletcher. Unbridled Honor here, one of the first half here of 2 horses that'll be in there from Fletcher's barn. Your thoughts on Unbridled Honor, also going to be joining Promise Keeper here, another horse from Fletcher's barn. But what do you think at 20-1 morning line here, Marco?
Yeah, he's going to get action just because of Todd Fletcher. People like to bet Todd Fletcher in the big races. But this one here has got to make a major jump up to get to be competitive in this one. He's had 3 races, finally broke his maiden. All of the races were, straight maiden special weight class races. And the last one was basically about the bottom of the barrel at Tampa, where he finally got the win. He has improved from his second start to his third start as far as the speed figure goes, but that speed figure still leaves him way below everybody, all of the top contenders in this race. I don't think he's a factor here. Also, the fact that none of Fletcher's big name jocks made the trip over to ride. He does pick up Julian Leparoux, but this is not a jockey that Todd Fletcher usually goes to. So I just don't think this is one of Fletcher's top rung horses. He could surprise us. Remember last year, we had a horse come out of the clouds to win the race from nowhere, King Guillermo, and happens to be owned by the same guy that has the 4 in this race this week. See if lightning strikes twice, but I'm not on Unbridled Honor.
All right, not on Unbridled Honor. We'll go to the number 10, Helium here, Sig, 6-1 morning line. Interesting horse here, talented, but again, this is one of those making what is dirt and 2-turn debut here at Tampa Bay. So what do you anticipate we're going to see?
Right. This was one of the toughest ones I had when I was doing my handicapping of this race. I don't know if Marco experiences this, but there's times when I look at a horse and I look at him and this should be a strong contender in here based on speed figures, based on undefeated record. My gut's telling me that this horse isn't a factor tomorrow. He's coming in here off an almost 6-month layoff. His only 2 races have occurred at Woodbine on the synthetic surface, so it's his first time on dirt. While the speed figures were good, I just don't really think he's he might bite me in the ass here. He could show up and like we saw King Guillermo last year, horse basically coming out of the clouds. But I don't think that Helium here is a strong contender against this field. Use him underneath. I mean, he has some late run in him. He could pick up a piece, but not a win contender for me. And based on that 6-1 morning line, they think, at least the morning line maker thinks he's got a decent shot against this field.
All right, that brings us to number 11, Promise Keeper. Marco, coming back to you here. That second half of the Fletcher entries. Luis Saiz, our old friend, gonna hang out on top here. Enough speed, you think, to stalk this? How would you look at this horse in this race, 8-1 morning line?
Yeah, I like this horse a lot. Joe, we talked about that in the other Todd Fletcher horse. He didn't get one of his big name jockeys that he usually uses make the trip. Well, he did get one here. Luis Saiz is one of the guys he goes to, and he made the trip over from Gulfstream to ride this horse. This horse is a legitimate Kentucky Derby contender. This is the test for him. See if he can get this distance. He handled the mile easily last time out in his second lifetime start. Granted, it was a maiden special weight, but it was a little bit tougher maiden special weight class than the other Fletcher horse. And this was a $160,000 yearling purchase. based on some of the Fletcher buys, that's actually a low purchase for Todd Fletcher, but definitely has the breeding. Constitution is a sire that did very well last year with his offspring, and I think this horse is sitting on a big race. He has the tactical speed to leave from the outside post. I like him having the outside post because when Luis Saiz goes, he can make the decision if he wants to go all the way to the top or he wants to just get out there and cross over and find position. If he does go to the top, there's not many jockeys in the game better than Saiz than rating a horse on the front end and getting that last 16th of a mile out of the horse and getting him to the wire. I think he's a strong contender, and if he doesn't get in a speed duel with the 3 early, I think this is a horse that is going to be there at the end and could be Todd Fletcher's best Derby contender.
All right, that brings the last horse here on the race, sitting on go here, Sig, and it just feels like a last-ditch effort to try and remain on the Kentucky Derby trail. It started off great last September in Churchill, but it's been horrific ever since there. 20-1 morning line, Dale Romans. What do you think of this horse?
Yeah, sitting on go for Romans was one of the early Derby horses they talked about. He won his debut at Ellis Park, came back, won the Iroquois at Churchill on Derby Day, and then they shipped him to Keeneland for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and basically didn't run a lick. I mean, he faced some good horses in there, but he was actually, I think, going off around 9-1, 10-1 that day. And, I mean, he had some action at the betting windows. Now, Dale Romans seems to find these horses get them on the Derby trail, and they just all of a sudden come out of nowhere again. Like we said, this guy won his first 2 races. He's had a couple rough races, but this is a second start off the layoff here, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if Romans has this one tuned up a little bit. This is probably his best chance to having a horse in this year's Derby right now, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw a big run out of him.
All right, 12-horse field there. We're going to narrow it down, get some of the best bets lined up from these guys. Take a look at the card and the 4 horses that they do like, but I do want to remind you guys quickly there, Marco, right now, the opportunity to grab a 7-day all-access pass for the price of 3. It doesn't get any better than that. Just use the code TAMPA69 right now. All access, 7 days, every selection of Marco, every sport for the price of 3 days. That's just $69 right now. Use that code TAMPA69. And for Sig, you can get every one of his selections now through the Belmont, just $169. And there's a lot of racing to be had here between now and then. It's a great opportunity to hop on and make horse racing here a profitable aspect of your investments. So hop on at $169 for all of Sig's horses and his selections now through the Belmont at WagerTalk.com. All right, guys, time to put up here. Let's go, Marco. I'm coming to you, my man. Talk to me. Who you got in this? I bet you they're all odd horses. Who do you like here, Marco? Go ahead.
Well, 3 of the 4 are odd horses. We are going with number 3, Candyman Rocket. He is the horse to beat. He's shown that he can win at this distance. Even though he got leggy in that race, he had every reason to get beat in that race, and he didn't. He held on, got the win. I think he'll be better from that race, as going the distance once. And I also think they're going to have a little more relaxed fractions in this race. We're not going to get that speed duel. For the second place horse, I'm going to go Hidden Stash. And this is kind of inside out for me. You're going to have Candyman Rocket on the front end. You're going to have Hidden Stash coming from behind. Now, if they go dumb fractions up front, go too fast, Hidden Stash is going to gobble these horses up in the stretch. In that last race, when you saw him come out of the clouds, the reason he came out of the clouds, Joe, is he was down at the rail going into the last turn. He was still down at the rail at the top of the stretch, but was able to swing the horse wide, got an opening, and once he got out wide and had clear sailing and he could give him his head, this horse was flying. So that's why I've got him second, and he is probably the better value play in this race because Candyman Rocket will be overbet, as Sig said earlier. Number 11, this is the horse that I think is the horse that has the best license to jump up. We talk about horses at this time of the year. when they only have a couple starts, you could see that light bulb go off, and it might have went off in the last race for this horse. The other factor to consider with the 11, Sig said we got a chance of rain. If the track turns up muddy, this horse already had a monster race on the mud. So that would give him a huge advantage as well. I think he's got the tactical speed to sit right at the lead or just off of it, and he'll have first call for that run home. And then finally, I could put anybody in the fourth spot, to be honest with you, Joe. Maybe except number 1, My Liberty. Anybody else in this race has a shot to run underneath, but I did put Boca Boy simply because this horse has been an honest horse, finished 4 out of 5 in the money. The only time he didn't, he finished 4th, and that was the last race when I felt he went suicide fractions in that one. I'm giving him a chance to redeem himself underneath on the ticket. 3-8, 11-5 for me.
There it is, 3-8, 11-5. All right, Sig, let's see what your horses look like as well. See if there's any I don't know, any of the same that Marco likes. Who you got at the top?
Well, Joe, like normally, Marco and I handicap separately. Always seem to land pretty much on some of the same horses. Like I said, Candyman Rocket is the horse to beat in here. I do think he is vulnerable, and if somebody beats him, Hidden Stash did come off that rough trip. I'm not going to reiterate what Marco said. He stole most of my thunder. I do like Boca Boy. I think Boca Boy's getting stronger here. I think he's got a good shot at definitely hitting the ticket here. And an odd horse, imagine that Marco didn't like, is actually my long shot play in here. Saffy Joseph has 3 horses going into Saturday's event. I think Moonlight Strike has the best shot at possibly exceeding his expectations here. 20-1. He finished 4th in the Smarty Jones at Oakland in January. That was off a short layoff here. He's got the best chance in the field, I think, to make a big leap forward. He's worked well since that last outing, especially a fast 4 furlongs last week. And I think he's going to be much higher than 20-1. I think you're going to see money on Candyman Rocket. You're going to see money on Hidden Stash. I think you're going to see money on Promise Keeper. So I think a horse like this is going to drift up. And if you do have a long shot upsetter here, like we had with King Guillermo last year, I think Moonlight Strike might be that horse here. I think you're going to get a lot better than 20-1 if you want to throw a couple extra bucks, some gum money or something on him. He might surprise.
A good number there. That's a lot. It's going to be one hell of a day at racing at Tampa Bay. Not only, obviously, this race, the Tampa Derby, but I believe we've got a total of 5 stakes races going on there. You got the Florida Oaks, you got the Michelob Ultra Challenge Stakes, the Hillsborough Stakes, the Derby. You got some opportunity to make some money this weekend, guys, on the track. And these 2 guys, 2 of the very best you can do that with, which is why you should hop on with Marco. Tampa 69 is the code you use at checkout. Get 7 days all access, including his selections for the Derby and anything else he's got lined up over the next week for just $69. And, of course, Sig, all his selections from now through to Belmont there for just $169. Guys, take advantage. Head over to WagerTalk.com and let's make it a profitable weekend at the track. So on behalf of Marco D'Angelo and Sig, guys, we appreciate you spending some time with us. Hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. Hit the subscribe button. Let's cash some tickets here this weekend at the track. Best of luck, guys. Pony Pundits will return again next week. We'll see you then.